Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Hello, Parker.
Hey, how's it going?
My name is Binyam.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Before we get too far in, Parker, I just want to give you a heads up. I do something unusual in my Uber.
Okay.
I have my riders sing to me opera while we're driving.
Oh, shit. You'd be asking
I'm
the worst
kidding.
guy.
I'm kidding. No such thing. No such
Yeah,
thing.
that'd be too good.
No, but I do a live stream in my Uber. So
Oh, cool.
just want to give you a heads up so you don't say anything that you're like, I don't want that going on the internet. So
Something's
yeah,
gonna get me canceled.
just a heads up. Well, I'm not too concerned about that. I really have a good time and connections, and I'm quite confident in why I do it. But I
Oh,
also
that's
like
cool.
just to make sure that consent's on play.
No, I like how you have the chargers here too.
Oh,
That's actually really
good.
convenient. Yeah.
It is helpful, isn't it? Just in
Oh,
case,
definitely.
because sometimes you know, you're just on those last little bits of juice, and
Oh yeah, like at the airport.
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah. yeah, there's a few different kinds that you'll probably see there.
Appreciate
Listen, we're going to the airport,
it. Yes.
flying domestic or international?
Domestic. Yeah.
With
WestJet, I believe.
WestJet. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll get you there. Tell me, how nice is it to see the sun?
Oh, it is. Hey.
It is.
It was terrible yesterday.
Oh man.
All foggy because I'm over in Canmore, so I
Oh,
don't
okay.
really. I have a twin brother out here that does like the business stuff.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's coming in. You know, it's surprising how much of a change it is.
Totally.
Only an hour away.
Oh, this is like glorious though.
I'm sure we'll get hit with -30 soon though. or
Ooh,
something.
I'm not holding my breath there.
Oh yeah. Like I went to school out in Victoria, so
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we don't even really get snow up
No,
there.
no.
And then,
It's much nicer there, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I snowboard, so I
Mm.
obviously prefer it here in the winter. But
Yeah.
I mean, -30 is never fun. I've been frostbitten enough times, so.
Have you?
Oh yeah, like 6 times, maybe 7.
I've only got it once on my ears.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Like
that
if
was-
I'm doing cross country skiing, that's common. For
Oh
sure.
yeah.
But yeah, like the nose and stuff, and you're on a chairlift with the
What
windshield.
happens when the nose gets frostbitten?
Oh yeah, you have to like put your because I did snowboard instructing as well for a
Yeah,
while, so
yeah.
I was dealing with lots of people, and you have
Yeah.
to like put your hand on your face like without a glove.
Yeah.
You
Oh
have to go
really?
inside though, yeah. Like if you get any longer, you can get pretty messed up. But
Because like when my ears got frostbitten, I had like they eventually like kind of swole up right up, and they were like engorged like
oh
for
yeah,
a
it's,
few
it's
months.
painful. Hey,
And so does that happen to the nose as well, or not at all? Like, or
not so
the-
much the swelling. Like I've had it pretty bad with my boots.
Yeah.
Where I've been in a hot tub and
Yeah.
can't tell what temperature that hot tub is.
Those
Like you
ghost
know.
trucks are so sneaky, aren't they?
Oh,
You
I
can-
didn't even realize they had those kind of
Oh,
ghost cars.
that's a ghost truck, and it's so hard to tell. You know, you can usually tell the enforcers, the explorers.
Oh
Oh man, those ones are bad.
no, good to know actually.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
So you were saying though?
Oh no, just I had it before so bad where
Yeah.
you can put your hand in hot water and you just can't feel anything. Yeah, then it wasn't severe enough that I
Yeah.
could have been like losing my hand, obviously, but it was stupid. That was just after graduating. I've been snowboarding for like 20 years, doing like racing. Kind of
Yeah.
had an opportunity to kind of get on with like Olympics and stuff. but
Okay.
Played other sports.
Yeah.
And yeah, pretty much so was teaching, just because easy
Yeah.
enough thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, the worst part was you'd be sometimes teaching when the hill was -35, and you'd
Wow.
have a family from like Louisiana.
Oh.
Never seen snow before.
Oh.
So then they drag you outside, and you're the only people out there.
Yeah.
So then yeah, that's how I kind of got all that from the teaching that job. So people were jealous until they heard like yeah, it's
The horror
-30
stories.
working in.
Yeah.
So
Thankfully, from my observation, in this part of the world, we only get that deep cold like maybe twice. Like,
Yeah.
Sorry, like a couple of weeks.
I'm sure it won't be too bad.
Yeah.
Is that where you're from? Is Calgary?
No, no. Originally from Ethiopia.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That'd be
I grew up in
cool.
BC though, in Kamloops.
Oh yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah.
right
So that's
on.
where hometown is for me now.
Oh, all right, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then I came out here to finish school, and then I fell in love with the city. I said, "This is pretty amazing." I mean, how close are we to you guys in Canmore?
Yeah, well, you got some nice stuff. The city's nice here. for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. That horizon, especially on a day like today.
Oh, yeah, I bet. Hey.
Yeah, and I like being in the city. I like being close to amenities for sure.
Yeah.
But I just like being where there's lots of people around.
That makes sense. Yeah, definitely. because I was over in like Vancouver for a bit as well, and I
Yeah.
find there's a little. Well, obviously it's a ripoff.
Yeah.
Like we know how expensive
Yeah,
it is,
it's
but
totally, yeah.
I almost preferred Calgary. Maybe just the layout of it. I don't know.
It's very spacious, right?
Yeah.
Vancouver is very dense. Like they can't really, they don't have options to go except for going vertical.
Yeah.
Whereas here we
definitely.
just kind of have a sprawl. We just get
Huge sprawl. Yeah.
so much space here.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's
So-
the thing I like you're saying, is well, for like, there's just more opportunities. Like living down in Canmore, Banff, it's like if I wanted to do like some kind of business for it, it's
Yeah.
a lot more limited, being that you're in a small tourist town.
Unless you're working remotely and you can control that.
Exactly.
In which
that
case
would be
that's
the best
right.
option.
Then
Yeah.
you could like have your income coming in
Yeah.
and have like all the benefits because it's not cheap there either.
No, not at all.
So-
Similar to like Vancouver.
Right. Yeah. So like expensive with no options for like actually
Yeah.
fueling your way of life is a tough gig.
That would be the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I was I'm really into like I had the degree in environmental science geography,
yeah.
which is pretty, it's kind of random, obviously. So
Sure.
it would require, obviously, maybe being outside a bit, going something like that. But
Yeah.
I do really into the really high-end gourmet cooking. So I was kind of thinking like that would be
Oh.
good, but I just hear it's just a nightmare, the kind of work environment. Being in the professional kitchen,
Not.
long hours, just
Yeah.
people yelling, stressful,
Yeah.
like, just really like down to the wire, like have to be perfect. So
Yeah.
it'd be cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the hours you put in, apparently you don't make any money in comparison to someone else doing 12-hour days. And yeah, it just sounds interesting. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I was kind of looking into that for a while. But
It's a really cool option that we live in a time where you can actually, if you have an idea or an ambition for something, you can actually like run for it, and you can
Totally.
actually market yourself in a quite legitimate way, right?
Oh,
Which
definitely.
is brilliant. It's just trying to find that thing for you, which entails that you know yourself well enough to say, here's where my mark in life is going to be. Here's what I'm going to accomplish, or whatever, right?
oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, what did you do for school?
Man, I did quite a bit, and I found out by process of elimination what I didn't want to do.
Okay.
So I started in business with accounting.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Towards the end of that degree, I said, this is not where I want to be.
No,
This
yeah.
is not what I'm made for. So then I went to a degree that I knew I didn't enjoy, but I wanted the outcome of it. I wanted to be a doctor, so I thought,
Oh, cool.
I hate
yeah.
sciences, but I got to go through it. I'll learn all that I need to learn. At some point, I'll finish all the learning.
Yeah.
That was the theory, I thought. And then I'll get on with being a doctor and helping people the way I wanted. Found out two things at the end of that degree. One, doctors really dig science, that they keep on learning and digging deeper, and they do it for fun kind of thing.
Yeah,
I said,
definitely.
no, I still don't like that. And secondly, I discovered they don't have as much time with the patients as I anticipated they would.
Okay.
So then I
Interesting.
said, okay, this is not it either. And then I discovered the arts, and then I said, this is where I should have been the whole time. I just found my space there. So I did English, philosophy, and would have had all the other ones also like on cue, but I was kind of done with school by this time.
Oh, I
This is
can
like
imagine,
a long
yeah.
time. And that's when I came out here for my studies, for my grad studies, that is. And then on to Saskatchewan for a bit. So yeah, a whole bunch of energy invested. I'm happy that I got to where I got to, because like now the kind of space I take up in my mind, bro, and the way that I engage in the world, it is very like it captures me. Every day I'm like chomping at the bit to say, okay, where am I going to go this time in the continued progression of my interest, for example.
Okay. Well, that's actually really interesting.
It is,
Comparison to like what most people would
indeed.
say.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
And I've definitely taken unconventional routes, career-wise.
Yeah.
So I've done a whole bunch of things along the way, which has been all fun. And even when people are like, "Why do you do Uber like full time? Why do you like you could do anything else?" And I say, "This job I do on purpose full time because I'm always on the lookout for those kind of jobs that give me free access in exploring and expanding what I want to do." So like doing a lot of live stream right now, for example, and my ambitions of what I want to accomplish there. This job is just so perfect for it,
No, I
get
can 100% get that.
I get to meet so many people in the context of this job.
Oh, yeah.
I feel I'm gifted conversationally. I have quite a lot of life. Like I look a lot older than I seem. I've got a lot of like life experience under my belt now. A lot of
Interesting.
perspectives, sites, and ways of even engaging in so many fronts. To be able to say different vantage points and how can I not only relish what I'm learning, but also extend and share that elsewhere as well too.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. I can definitely stand behind the what you're saying with the whole study and like science, like in the doctor sense.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
I
yeah.
was looking the tech world for a while.
Yeah.
The coding and stuff, doing programming, and you almost like to do it as a hobby. If you're just doing it to learn it, it does not stick at all. I've been finding.
So I just had a writer earlier today, and he was telling me the other side of that. He said he got into like computer sciences,
Yeah.
and that's his career now. But while he was in the midst of that one there, this one job place he was applying for, they're like, so how do you do this in your free time for fun? And he said, I don't. This is like my job part. And that
Yeah.
kind of ended that interview.
Oh, wow.
So the
Yeah.
other side for you is like, I do this for a job, not for fun.
I can get that, yeah, because people will say sometimes don't do your passion for
Right.
a job, so
Right.
to speak.
I've
but
heard that too.
if you're a self-learner, though,
Yeah.
then I feel like you almost have to be interested. If you're just doing it out of like, hey, this is a better pay, you
See,
might burn out. I don't know.
The interesting thing about that too is I'm doing a lot of things that I'm not necessarily interested in now to
Yeah.
feel the things that I am interested in. So I've got a message I want to create and present online for sure.
Yeah.
But I've had to do a lot of investment into, say, what sound mixing looks like, what good videography looks like,
Okay. those are
what
good
lighting,
ones.
like a whole bunch of other things that are surrounding it that help carry the message forward even better. Because like I do also care about the quality that I'm presenting, and since I'm like doing the whole thing, I have to like dabble in a whole bunch of other things. I'm like, all right, let's see how this works out here, so that I can do a better job in presenting the main oomph of what I feel I'm called to do.
So what is the main interest?
The
then?
main oomph.
Yeah.
The main oomph. So my mission now is to make accessible a characteristic I wish I'd had access to when I was younger, a young man, and that characteristic is integrity. So now I'm invested in saying, how can I make this conversation far more? Have you ever seen these trucks, by the way? This is a pickup truck. It's a tow truck.
Oh,
It's like a secret tow truck
I
right
didn't
there.
know that. That's
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That is
So it looks like a normal truck. He can like pull into any place as if he's not like, you know.
kinda nice.
And so like a lot of
Yeah.
those who do like reclaims for the bank, like what do they call that when you can't pay and then so they come and
repos?
repos, yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of them will have like incognito trucks like that, where they just pull up to like a guy's
Oh,
work
that's kinda
location,
smart, yeah.
and then in moments, so they'll just have the thing down, like from the inside of the truck. They'll back right in, pick it up. There's a whole bunch of social media accounts on YouTube that show this,
No, probably avoids drama for sure.
and then
but
pull
it's fast
away.
you can get in, though.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
That's
So,
really good.
sort of, yeah, it's reminding those there. Yeah, all that to say though, now that's probably where my main emphasis is to say, how can I market in essence? Market is such a crass word, but nonetheless, can I make this a far more accessible conversation around what it looks like for young men who are interested in saying, how can I like live life well? By way of like making the right calls, because it can be really confusing, especially if you've never had someone to model for you like what living well looks like, you know. And I'm not talking about living well like at the gym. I'm talking more about like living well by way of the calls that we make in life, you know, the way we engage in relationships, the way we engage in business, and even just like facing yourself in the mirror and saying straight up, I'm a person who can like who has nothing to hide in essence, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's funny you say that, because I always used to tell people about mine, which might not be all agreeable. to
Oh,
some.
tell me, yeah.
I always go like, so when you're kind of to spin off what you're saying, like kind of whatever you want to word it, like successful,
Yeah.
like guy's life or whatever.
Yeah.
I always played it off of three things. I said like something like general health, fitness,
Yeah.
which I feel like pretty important.
Sure now.
Then I always said for me,
Yeah.
like having girls.
Yeah.
Well, they
Yeah.
have to be a girlfriend
Relationships.
or yeah, a
Absolutely.
few people on the go.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And then just the job,
Yeah.
a good fulfilling job. Now
Right.
for me right now,
Yeah.
the biggest one I've lacked is the job one.
I
Because I've been
see.
like, since graduating,
Yeah.
I've almost found us working with Parks Canada.
Yeah.
I was always like on the go with girls.
Sure.
That's where I'm actually, that's where on the
On your
airport
way.
for.
Okay.
So that was never too much of a,
Yeah.
too much of an issue.
Yeah.
Not too much.
Yeah.
But
A lot of guys would envy you saying that, but carry on.
I could envy them. It's funny because with if they're the lawyer, you know, so it goes both. I find it goes both ways, but
Yeah.
I do get it.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I was would have been like single for the 5 years, but the whole time, I mean, not maybe the most not the nicest guy when,
Yeah.
when the girls hear that. But,
Yeah.
but I was having fun no less.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's my one thing I find I lack
Yeah.
in comparison to my peers.
Yeah.
If I compare myself to my brother who's like commercial real estate,
Yeah.
my one friend is like a pilot, the
Yeah.
other guy is like the high-end banker
Accomplished in their careers.
in their career paths.
And you're like,
definitely.
I'm feeling behind the 8 ball on that one.
I would agree. Yeah, I would say so with that. Not to say they don't also have girlfriends and
Sure.
stuff like that.
Sure.
They don't really do the weights as much or
Yeah.
fitness. To
But
me,
you
it's,
feel well balanced in the other couple of areas, but in this one area,
Yeah.
you're trying to catch up.
that's what I've often
Cool.
noticed with since graduating. It
Mm.
almost feels like with the entry-level jobs, at
Yeah.
least off my career,
Yeah.
my degree,
Yeah.
they almost seem to want like 5 years experience. Like, as I didn't do internships directly in my field, I more did them for a business job
Yeah.
for my dad's company back when.
Gotcha.
So I have more of a resume for sales than I do like sciences.
Right.
So that's kind of the dilemma there.
I
If I
see.
compare myself to the guys who are working, like they got pretty lucked out on some nice gigs.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm kind of just chilling, you know, with snowboard instructing, just kind of lazier. More dead end things. You do it in 10 years, you're not getting promoted.
Right.
You know, your only wage increase you're getting is by, you know, whatever the government says after a few years. So
Right. Right.
that was kind of the one little thing. But
I see.
yeah, so it's more my like problem for not being too aggressive on it than
Yeah.
anything else. I owe it to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I always say for the 3.
I hear
Which
that.
is
I
an
hear that.
interesting one. It's pretty basic.
Indeed.
But,
Indeed.
yeah.
I never realized until I was talking to you just now that mine hones in specifically on the, I guess, what would I call this here? It'd be more in the zone for me of what does mental character health look like? That's what it is. Mental character health, that's probably it.
For what? For like that whole 3 thing you're saying?
No, from my analysis of what I'm. So you've got the 3 parts. You've got the physical, you've got the relational, and you've got the career. Right?
Yes.
And so those are your 3. And mine, I was trying to figure out where would mine be, like in which quadrant. And I was just thinking about it. I'm like, mine would be in the mental character health.
Okay.
That's what it really is. When I'm calling other guys and saying, what kind of life are you living? What kind of calls are you making in life? What kind of decisions? What are your intentions for the way you navigate through life? It really seems to be, for me, lying in that zone of, are you able to like match what's going on in your mindset, in your
Yeah.
intentions, and the way you're taking a place in the world, right? And so that's what I was trying to figure out. Well, what quadrant would mine be in? Integrity? How do I, like, where do I put
Yeah.
that in there? And so, yeah, I just came up with that.
Yeah.
Indeed. Huh.
Yeah, that's kind of what I find though. Like, I guess I think in my case, it's like, yeah, those 3 things mentally should feel decent.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Yeah.
each their own, I find.
For
That's
sure.
too, I know. Yeah.
Now, you have mentioned, and I know like a lot of my audience are males, and you were saying the zone that most would struggle in romantically, you haven't really struggled in as much. Have you seen an evolution on your experience over the years in the ways that you engage and like navigate romantically?
That's funny because this is the one I would say I'm pretty like, you know, good at. Like,
Yeah,
people
yeah, yeah.
will ask me all the time.
Yeah, yeah. Share
I'd
the
say number-
insights.
Oh yeah, no, I mean this used to be an obsession of mine. Was
Okay.
the girls, like
Okay.
kind of more so than the work.
Okay.
that was my goal.
Fair,
People
fair.
have joked I should go to the country club and maybe just be the stay-at-home guy cooking for the girls the whole time. And that way they can solve the work problem. But, my biggest thing,
Yeah,
being blunt,
yeah,
is for starters.
yeah.
I would say, like, be honest with yourself. Look in the mirror. You should look fit. Try to work out. I mean, there's a few things you got to provide.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it sounds materialistic, of course, but you go on a dating app, you're getting judged by your appearance.
Looks, yeah.
It's not trying to compare yourself to others. It's just being the best version of yourself.
Gotcha.
So I've always said, and it also makes you feel better when you can look in the mirror and not be grossed out. Like, so make an effort in the sense of like personal hygiene with skincare.
Mhm.
My skin's not the best, but
Yeah.
I've often done skincare routines.
Okay.
Just working out a little bit at the gym. You don't have to
Yeah.
be like the massive guy at all.
Yeah.
I found it's
Yeah.
just looking somewhat athletic
Yeah.
is huge.
Yeah.
So that was the number one thing I've said, is just for starters, without
Okay.
being cliche, is
Yeah.
kind of just taking care of your general appearance.
Yeah.
In terms of like other things, it's kind of because there's a few categories you can go off of, like how should you talk to them, how should you approach,
Right.
how should you, depending what you want to, if you're trying to play a rotation.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
another term.
Yeah.
I would always go though, like, because I have some friends who haven't had girlfriends ever.
Yeah.
I mean, nice guys.
Yeah.
And you can just tell from talking to them why they wouldn't.
Yeah.
They're too like uptight. They're drama. Like you gotta have like with the girls at mine, it's a lot of having fun
Sure.
kind of thing. Trying
Yeah.
to be like the uptight guy pouring drama on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to say you're playing the game. I
Yeah.
always use that term and people hate it.
Yeah.
Like playing the game, like
Right.
I'm just kind of playing something else.
Sure.
But I mean, it is kind of true. There's a guy at work I get along with who's for the exact same reasons, because he used to do the same kind of route I did with the girls, and it's all about kind of having fun. Like, so I played a lot off the apps. The
Yeah.
apps are everything about your appearance and
Yeah.
pictures.
Yeah.
I would say if you're gonna go to the bar,
Yeah.
kind of going with the friends.
Yeah.
And that's another good one. Obviously, I've said don't rely on the apps.
Yeah.
The apps are only just another source of a passive income kind of thing. You know, like you go about your average day walking through, say you're in university or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
You're not going to see chicks that are girls at the other side of the college or
Right,
whatever.
right.
You'll never see them because it's
Yeah.
like your little routine.
Yeah.
So that's why I find the apps can come in handy
Okay.
if you're just going off your regular day to
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
From there, though,
Yeah.
it's kind of at the end of the day, you're always gonna be on the phone. So having to just being able to text. But the problem, this is my biggest tip too. I
Okay,
say is when
okay.
you do have the number,
Yeah.
if you're able to get a number off the apps, whatever
Yeah,
it might
yeah.
be, a Snapchat, whatever they use.
Yeah.
Never talk too much. I've made
Ah.
mistakes on that. Don't try to find out all the small talk.
Yeah.
The only talking that should be happening is
Yeah.
trying to hang out with the person.
In person.
Oh, 100%. I've made
Gotcha.
the mistakes. So I've done, I don't know how many I've lost count. And I'd be lying if I said they were all home runs beforehand.
Yeah.
Found out everything about them.
Yeah.
Then when I find they didn't want to watch a movie at their place,
Yeah.
it's awkward because now I'm small talking all the same stuff I've already talked about because
Yeah.
there's no chemistry built
Yeah,
already. It's just
yeah.
because you don't know the person from
Yeah.
texting
Yeah.
until you meet in person. You
Yeah.
can't pick up on all the
Yeah.
body language and whatnot. So yeah, it's a topic I've talked for some time on with guys.
The
And stuff.
specific zone I'm interested in now in your experiences.
Yeah.
When does it get intimate and like real for you?
It's funny you say it. Like
Yeah.
real is in I want to date her. Or-
Real as in like, okay, not only are you having fun with this individual
Okay.
and having fun, but all of a sudden the feelings come and you're like, oh crap,
It
this
sounds
person.
bad, yeah.
Yeah.
I get you because
Because I mean, it's lovely to have fun as long as everyone's on the same page, right?
Yeah,
But then
totally.
at some point, sometimes you can't even control when you're like, oh crap, when did this happen? And she or you are expressing interest in further and hoping that they feel the same way.
that's a good question. Yeah, like I was aside from my first girlfriend,
Yeah.
where that was like a legitimate.
Just a
thing.
reminder, WestJet, domestic.
Correct.
Good,
yeah.
thank you. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
besides from my first one,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
that was a legitimate
Yeah, yeah,
thing, it
yeah,
was
yeah.
because I was a shy guy.
Gotcha.
Barely talked to girls in high school.
Yeah.
And I think that was what pushed me into the gym growing up from a younger age. But
Yeah.
besides that point, I was then single for 5 years.
Okay.
Had zero cold heart, basically.
Yeah.
I'm with one now. I think the big one too is some of these ones, because I'm a twin.
Yeah.
The one I'm dating now is a twin.
Yeah.
So having a little bit in common with them. I don't know what it was,
Yeah.
honestly, with
Yeah.
it. Like, you never really can put a pin on it.
Yeah.
I always said, and they don't like to hear this, but I
Yeah.
said number one.
Yeah.
I say myself,
Mhm.
anytime I look at one,
Mm-hmm.
I say I would date her based on looks.
Right.
Which sounds weird, but it's just like, everyone has their
Entry
preferences.
points, right?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
an entry point. It's like
Absolutely.
those girls
It's like,
I'd see, and
If
I
you're
would
not
date her.
attracted to them, then
Yeah.
yeah, like let's be honest.
And
right?
I'm known for it. Like,
Sure.
I'll hang out with ones I'm not attracted to
Okay.
just for some fun.
Yeah.
But in terms of dating,
Yeah.
that's a starter.
Okay.
After once you start hanging out with them, I
Yeah,
guess, and
yeah,
then
yeah.
you see, like, I kind of knew after the first day or two,
Yeah.
the one I was with.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously personality has to come into play, and
Sure.
I always say never hold your breath.
Yeah.
Because I've had some bad ones where
Yeah.
I bragged to all my friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get ghosted
Right.
before I even hang out with her and
Sure.
stuff. But
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, you probably know after you have a general idea just off your attraction level to them. Because if the attraction's there and their
Yeah.
personality,
Yeah.
I have a pretty low bar for personality after
Yeah.
some of the stories I have with the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had some bad ones, a lot of jealousy with
Okay.
someone.
Okay.
I could tell stories on
Intriguing.
that for sure. getting accused of
that's
trying to get with your
harsh.
twin brother's girlfriend.
Really?
And when they've been dating for 6 years.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. No, I got some good stories for that. But
Our ride was far too short, wouldn't you say? But
no, I really
enjoyed-
appreciate the ride here.
Me
That was
too, brother.
definitely good talking with
You
you.
were in good company as well. Let me help you grab your bag here.
Appreciate that.
Where are you meeting your significant?
It's gonna be in Hamilton. I meet the
Oh.
entire family today.
Wow.
So it's gonna be in Vermont, that's for sure. So, anyways, great meeting you. Thank you. Have a safe drive.
You too, man. Thank you. Hi, friends. Hello, Anderson. Yeah, it was a great conversation, wasn't it? Intriguing, to be certain. Yeah, I really get to have those conversations with other guys in the Uber about relationships and insights and experiences like that. So that was really very interesting, wouldn't you say? Yes. Oh, this guy's parked right behind me. I think we should be good. Happy Thursday, by the way. Twins, eh? I know. There were so many questions I wanted to ask. So many questions, Anderson. I wanted to ask about how he and his twin brother got along, and I wanted to find out if they're identical twins as well too. Wouldn't that be amazing if they were? And apparently the girl he's dating now, she's a twin too, so that's unusual and fantastic. And recently in my vehicle I had triplets in my vehicle. Actually, 2 of the 3 triplets were in my vehicle. No, all 3 of them were there. It was one night I was driving along and 3 redheads, and the one of them, her boyfriend, and the other one's best friend, all got in, and that was a fun ride, a short but fun ride. It's awesome. All right, quick update for you guys. Especially, I know, right? I know, Anderson. I feel the same way. I was like, what? I wanted to give you a quick heads up as well too. I mentioned this morning a message I got last night in my Uber app, and that was that someone had, I guess, complained because they didn't feel comfortable being on the live stream, and they, I guess, maybe hadn't felt safe sharing that with me, and so they instead, reported it. And Uber, like I was telling you guys, has a strict line on that one there. Excuse me. So along those lines, I'd reached out to Uber. I have some corporate contacts here in Canada that I can reach out to, who I've worked with in the past. We have had a great relationship in the past, so I'd reached out to them, and they said they were going to get back to me. And I'd also reached out in other corners, and they said they'd get back to me as well. No one had really gotten back to me per se. So when I got this message that said, hey, just community guidelines say that we cannot use social media in broadcasting our rides. So I tried figuring that out with a phone call this morning, which didn't really go anywhere. The guys who answer the support lines, they only have kind of... Hi again, welcome back. I was just waiting for the reconnection to happen. Hi again, welcome back. I was just waiting for the reconnection to happen here. I guess all that to say that I wrote in another message, a more detailed message to, again, to like one of the top ranks in Uber here in Canada. And yeah, that's right, Anderson. Before every pickup, I explained to the customer that we're on live stream, so that we're aware. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, the thing is, sometimes, Anderson, I think, like, as much as I try to make it a safe place for people to say I'm not comfortable, there are some people who still don't feel comfortable saying that, right? And so if they don't feel comfortable saying it, I guess that's something that I take into account as well. So all that to say, I wrote a more detailed message to one of the contacts I have at Uber corporate headquarters, and she wrote back saying, as long as like there's consent happening, and I have proof of that, then we're good, which is great. So that means I'm going to keep on doing what I do, and I like recording everything, including when this person says no. Some of you might remember a few days ago, I had an elderly lady get in, and she had a very definitive response when she said, no, I don't want that. And so you guys got to see in real time how I was able to accommodate that and say, hell yes, I'm going to acknowledge what you're asking me to do and not do that. And you guys saw the whole thing, right? So, so that was really cool. That was really, really neat. I felt that hit the right notes that I've been aiming for. Oh, thank you. Anderson says, so happy that you can keep streaming this fabulous content. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. It's filtered through their legal team, and I also gave them my platform so they can go ahead and watch what I do and how I do it, and how I just capture everything unedited, just so that it's accountable, right? I want to be held accountable for what I'm doing, and so that they can see my intentions for why I'm doing what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm really grateful for, in this moment, these, I can hear an airplane flying over me. It's like a very loud, booming sound. And all that to say, I'm really grateful that I'm able to maintain these really good connections with these various places that I work at, like my previous workplace, for example. So grateful that I've got good relationships there. So grateful for the good camaraderie I'm able to maintain, even with Uber Corporate. After like a few years being in touch with them, just being able to send them a message saying, hey, it's me, and there's a good reconnection there. And so I feel blessed. I feel encouraged. And so that's good. Yeah, it definitely is a weight off my shoulders, because after I got that message last night, I was like, oh man, I was about to spend some time with my daughter, but I said, let me just tend to this first real quickly. And then, so I'm glad we are getting some headway on all of that. So that's really good. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just on my way to another pickup, which is about a 40-minute drive away. So I'm going to come back on the live stream here in, say, about, around noonish. So it's currently 11:20 in the morning. So check your clocks if you want to reconnect at that time, or just listen for the notification when I come back on the live stream. But that's the plan, is I'll be back again with some more fantastic engagements, hopefully. And thanks for being on the live stream for a few minutes, friends. I'll see you soon. And hopefully you're enjoying some sun like I am, wherever you are. Bye.